Hey, it's me, it's you, it's us together. It's Tuesday, and today is organizing and tagging your contacts in the Command 101 series. And if you've worked with me before, you know that I try to show you a lot of different cool stuff. Well, today is no exception. We're going to be going over a lot of little tips and tricks and little nooks and crannies within Command to try and make it really super easy for you to connect with your contacts using the tools of command tagging specifically. So let's take a look. The first thing we want to kind of get into right here, and let's see. Look at that; it went right to it. Oh man, I am a happy camper. So we're going to start off by understanding what we're trying to achieve when we're talking about tagging and organizing our contacts. And to do that, I'm going to go into contacts right here. Now we're jumping right in, right? You'll notice I'm not going to give you a lot of intro here today because we got a lot to cover, and I want to show you some of the things that we can do. So here we are in our contacts area. So organizing and tagging our contacts, really what it comes down to is being able to effectively target groups of people, and through organizing and tagging, we can do that. So on the contact homepage, one of the fields that you can see right in the middle of my page here is the tags area. So I've gone to command, I've logged into agent.kw.com, and I'm looking at the contacts screen here. Now I'm looking at the main page of contacts. And when we're looking at these tags here, you'll notice that I have a lot of different tags for each agent here, or each person in my database. There's purposes to every single one of these tags. And it kind of comes down to what I want to be able to do and how I want to be able to reach people. I want to give you something to think about here as we kind of move forward with this. When I first started using tags in command, I was being arbitrary. I was giving a person, an individual in the database, a single individual, I was giving them a tag to uniquely identify them. For example, it would be similar to an ID number. I would ID them using a tag. So I would say something like, John Smith in my database. John likes the color blue. Okay. Maybe he likes the Patriots, or makes, something like that. Something very specific about that very individual person. Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty easy. Okay, so I'm looking for John Smith. Maybe if I use the tag blue or Patriots, I can find John Smith. But it was treated as if it was an individual comment on that single contact. A serial number, an ID number, an employee number, some kind of transaction number. But it's so specific that it meant nothing to the 900 and some odd people that were in my database outside of that individual. And because of that, it meant nothing, period. Because all I needed to know was John Smith. I didn't even need the tag because all I needed to do was John Smith. Well, am I going to remember blue over John Smith? No. I'm going to really think about who I'm trying to contact, John Smith. So the tag was meaningless. And what I find a lot of times is when people start talking about tags in command, we all, and I was guilty of this in the beginning as well. Well, we would go in and we would say, all right, I'm going to tag a contact to show you how to tag a contact. But what ended up happening was I would create a meaningless tag that didn't have substance just for the sake of showing you how to create a tag. I'm not going to do that anymore. I want to show you the substance. I want to show you the meat behind why. And the meat behind the why is, what does tagging do for the rest of the database? So not only the people in the database, but where in the database do tags become useful? What are they used for? So we're going to start there. So you see I've got a bunch of tags on my contacts here. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back and look at these tags, but let's talk about where they are used and what we can do with them. So I'm going to start over here on the left-hand side, and I want to show you that, we've talked about this in the Command 101 series before, and we're still here in the 101. We went through the database and we talked about all the different applets that are in the database, and we talked about what they do, what they're for. So here we are on the left-hand side. I've clicked on the little red KW to make that section visible so we can see all of the different areas of the database. So we have an area called tasks. So if I click on my tasks area and I open up the tasks area, can I use tags in my tasks? And the answer is, well, let's create a task and see what happens here. So we see a task name. We can create a task name. We can specify as an all day or a due date and a time. We can put a task description and a hyperlink. And it does not look like we can add tags to this particular task itself. When the associate contacts area here, I can go and look at my contacts, whether they be for the team or for the individual, but it does not appear that I have the ability to use tasks. So we now know that tags, not tasks, tags. We now know that the task area doesn't utilize tags. And I can tell you why it doesn't, because tasks are generally designed and focused on individual people in your database. Tags are for groupings. So a task for a single individual really doesn't benefit by using tags. So tags, no go. We don't have anything in here that really uses the tags for our database. So that one's one down. Next up, smart plans. So in the smart plans area, when we are looking at a smart plan, on its surface, we know that a smart plan itself is going to be generally a multi-step process, keeping in contact with our contacts through automation. Send a text, send an email, and then wait 2 days and send another text and send another email. That's what smart plans do, is they automate that repetitive process of keeping in touch. But let's look a little bit deeper into smart plans to see if tags are involved. So to do that, I'm just going to create a new smart plan over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to create a smart plan. And this one is going to be called tags, yes or no. And if I could type, it would have been really cool. All right, so yes or no. So I'll hit apply, and I've created a brand new, just an empty shell of a smart plan. Okay, so inside this smart plan here, there's no action yet. I need to either add a task, make a call, send an email, send a text, put a delay, add another smart plan, or restart. So let's talk about this whole task thing. Task. Let me hit create task. Now, remember, when we were looking at tasks before, we were looking at the task control panel. And I said that when you're creating an individual task for an individual contact, tags didn't really matter. But in a smart plan, if I'm saying that I want to create a task here based on some criteria, let's say that the criteria is, I'll create a task name, contact main agents. Okay, so maybe my task is to contact main agents. And I want to do that by reaching out to them by name individually. And I want to do that in a way that I can set myself a little task that says, don't forget, contact first name, last name on this date. Okay, so now I'm making a task, but it's going to be for multiple agents, contacts. So I'll come down here in the task description, reach out to space, and I'll come over here and I'll say, put in the field name of a contact first name, and I'll say a field name of contact last name, and I'll put in another space here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put in maybe phone number, or phone number, because I want to call them, right? So here is reach out to first name, last name, phone number, to let them know about upcoming classes. You notice how when I type, I have to look down? Because I did not do well in typing school. I'll let them know about upcoming classes. So reach out by phone to let so-and-so know about an upcoming class. So how do I segregate my database? By using this statement, reach out to so-and-so, first name, last name, and let them know about upcoming classes. So I save my little step of my smart plan. So how do I specify that I want people from Maine to be contacted through my task list? Tags. So I'll come up here to the very right-hand corner. By the way, I hit that save button here to save this step of my smart plan. Now this is a single task, just like what we were creating before, where I couldn't use tags, but now I can. So I'm going to come up to my little people icon, to the add contact, and I'm going to search in my contacts for contacts with the tag of Maine. So I'll say, all right, so in the dialog box here, I'm going to search for contacts C, D, E, F, G, H, A, K, L, and Maine. Boom. All of the contacts in my database that have been tagged with the tag ME for Maine are in my database right now. There are 175 of the agents in my database that are tagged with the tag Maine. Now, as I go through here, I can select all of these people and go to the next page and go all the way down to the bottom and keep on selecting all of these people, all 175 of them. Now remember, I'm saying that I want to reach out to the people with the tags of Maine, and I want to contact them via phone. That's a hefty lift right there. It's 175 of my contacts that are tagged with the tag of Maine, and there they are. And I'm going to go ahead and select all 175 of them. Oh, 175. Yep. Did I not get everybody? Oh, I have to select everyone each time. Fine, be that way. That's actually a little bit easier because now I just have to go to the top of each page. There we go. Okay, so here are 130, 50, 60. There we go, 171. Now, I'm using a tag of Maine, and I've already tagged all of those contacts in my database that are in Maine. And I created a task in my smart plan that says contact by name these people. So here, if I hit add to smart plan, there's those people, all 170 of those, because of the tag, are going to now end up in my task list. And I'm going to stagger them out a little bit because if I sent it out to that task, or that, if I put that task in here as all right now, I'd have 175 tasks to complete today. Not going to happen. So I'm going to schedule them out per day. Let's say we're going to do 5 a day. Okay. I'm going to reach out to 5 people a day, and that will start today. So we'll say we're going to start it today by 5 a day, and I'll go ahead and click confirm. So now that task is going to end up in my inbox. So I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm. There. Now, I'm not actually, this task here is not going to do anything. It's going to tell me that I need to do something. So I'm going to go back to my task list. And if you recall, in my task list, now I have contact Maine agents from the first 5 people for today, due today, that I need to call them. So I can then just go through here and say, I've done that. Yes, I completed that task. And I can do that for each of the tasks as I move through. And tomorrow, 5 more are going to pop into here using tags. So I used tags within a smart plan. So smart plan tags, check. We have a tool that we can use tags in smart plans. Okay, next up, referrals. Now, referrals is our network. And by the way, we're going to have a class this afternoon on referrals, and we're going to learn how the referral network works. Something I'm going to be very clear about is in the tools for the referral network, there is the ability to add tags to people in your referral network. So maybe I've got people who are in my referral network that deal in commercial, and I can add these tags. These tags are not the same tags that you will find in contacts, because these people aren't necessarily in your database. They could be, but what these are is people that are in other areas, other regions, other states that you have connected with and built a referral network around. So I can use tags here, but it is not the same list as the tags that are used in your contacts in your database. Having said that, tags are very valuable here, but they're not the same list. And because of that, they don't qualify for what we're talking about for the conversation about contacts in your database, but they do qualify for organizing and managing your referral network. So for example, if you wanted to find all of your referral agents that did commercial work, you can use tags to do that. But this is only for the referral network. So again, very valuable, but not the same list. All right. So the answer to the question, referrals, does it use tags? Yes, with the caveat of it's a different list. Okay, next up, opportunities. So do tags work with opportunities? Well, let's find out here. So we've got, I've got dozens and dozens of different opportunities that I've got here, and I'll choose some from my personal database here. So I got 14 tags, 14 opportunities that are under contract. So I'm going to go into my under contract area, and I'm just going to randomly grab one here, Victor Versions, 123 Main Street. I'm going to open up this opportunity. Now, in this opportunity itself, I don't see anything across the top that says tags. I don't see anything specific here, but inside of the opportunity details, there is a section called custom tags. Now, custom tags for opportunities are, once again, not the same list that we use for contacts. So with that being said, it's just like I talked about with the referral network, where we say, yes, I can create tags. And yes, I can use tags for my opportunities. So let's go ahead and just put a custom tag in here, and we'll say that custom tag is for, let's do dual agency. Why not? So I'll say save. So I've tagged that opportunity. So just a brief kind of like rundown on here. When I go to all opportunities, I can see that by tags in the all opportunities area, I can see them and filter them by those tags. So Victor Versions, there is the dual agency. So now I know that this opportunity being tagged with dual agency. Okay, so yes, we can use tags in opportunities, but with the same caveat as referrals, it is not the same list. It is a unique list specific to opportunities. Okay, next, campaigns. Let's go to campaigns. By the way, hang on to your seats for this one, because this is where things get big. In our dashboard, we know that we can do paid ads, we can do emails, we can do direct mail, and we can do social posts. Okay, let's talk about emails first here. In our email area, what we can do is we can create a campaign using an email design, whether we made it in Command or whether we made it elsewhere. And we can put together that campaign, and then we have to send it out. The email campaigns, by definition, are going to be going out to the email addresses of the contacts in your database. So we're talking about literally connecting a campaign, an email campaign, to the contacts that are in your database. I'm guessing that there's some connection there to tags. And the reason I say that is because how do we identify the members of this particular campaign? Emails, right? That's who it's going to, but by grouping together in tags. And what we do to make that happen is we use email lists. And on the right-hand side here, we have email lists. And when we create an email list, and by the way, you can see here that I've got several different email lists with from 1 to my entire database of 954. When I want to create an email list, I can click on Create an Email List, and just like we saw in Smart Plans, when we were saying who are the people that we're targeting with this particular list. So we'll say that this is going to be by tag, and it's going to be main. So we'll do the same thing, by tag main. So I go to my tags, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. It should look familiar. It's exactly what we saw when we were in the Smart Plans. So, I got an ME here, and yeah, okay, there we go, main. All right. So I end up with a whole bunch of people. So if I select all here, I've got 100 contacts that I've selected. I'll just do this first 100 here. And it's because of the contact being tagged with ME. So now I know that I can create an email list using tags for the contacts in my database. And now I have 100 people added to my contact list for this particular email campaign. And I can reuse this list in multiple campaigns. So excellent way to use tags that are on our contacts, and that's in email lists. So the answer to the question, do campaigns use contact tags? Yes, they do. So right now we're actually 2 for 2, smart plans and campaigns. Referrals and opportunities, they are the ones that use specific tags for their different kinds. Reports, a non-issue. Designs, non-issue. Listings, non-issue. So campaigns, we know that we can use them, and in smart plans. And those are 2 of the major marketing components within Command. So those are going to be very valuable for us. All right, now I'm going to switch my screen up here, and I'm going to show you a different view here. I'm going to show you Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to show you a window here that has a little tag structure that I've built. And it's a demonstration tag structure to give you an idea of what an organized tag structure can do for you. So we knew that we had the main agents all put together. So we can look at my tag list here and say, so I've got system tags, temp tags, which is the temperature of or the heat of a particular a contact, whether they're hot, warm, or cold. Source tags, mailing lists, email lists. So we'll say that we're going to do a main email list, and the tag is ME. So now I know that I have a tag here, and I'm building my structure. And so if I'm going to build an email list called main, and I could even, fill out all the rest of my email lists, and now I know what I'm going to be doing with it. Occupations, events, DTD2s, all these different things. So source tags, maybe the location of the agent falls under source tag, or the location of the contact. So I'll put in main as not only a source tag, but also as an email list. Okay. So now I have an understanding that the tags are grouped together, and I'll use this top line as an example. The categories are system tags, temps, source tags, mailing lists, email lists, occupations, events, DTD2, and working on it. Birthdays, need things. So it's organizing your database. So let's look at this. In the system, we can use tag colors: white, red, a gold color, green, a darker green, purple, kind of a very dark blue, tan or kind of a rust color. And then over here, a working on it tag, which isn't really, color doesn't even really matter for this. This organizational structure can keep you from arbitrarily creating unnecessary tags if you already have a structure built for the type of tags that you're going to use for your business. So when we look at system tags, all of the white tags are generated by the system. And in that case, we know that we can use these tags, bought, buyers, sold, sellers, all those different things. So it's already done for us. But when it comes to temperature, we created a temperature, and we used red to indicate temperature. So we grouped them together, and we said the temperature of these individual contacts: hot, warm, cold, sold, farm, or lead. So those are the different temperatures that we've decided on. Now, as an individual agent, when you do this, you might find yourself a little bit stuck on, well, what am I supposed to call these tags, and how am I supposed to categorize them and use them? It's not a question that I can specifically answer for you, because it's all based on your business, how you're going to kind of work your business. And if you're going to be using some kind of temperature to indicate, the level of interest of a contact, then this might be one thing that you kind of look at and go, okay, I like some of this, I don't like all of it, but I'm going to use that temperature. So I'm going to make a tag structure. All of the red tags in my database are going to be referencing the temperature, and here's my individual tags to show that scale of temperature for my contacts. That one simple statement right there should kind of define the process for you. Each of the different colors is a category. And then within the category, you have the tags themselves that are levels or separations within those categories to identify what's going on. All right, let me switch back over now to the command interface here. And when we look at our tags, that we just used for tag by main for our mailing list, remember when we created that list, what we said was we grabbed all of the contacts with the tag ME. And in my case, the tag ME is listed, MAME is listed as a white tag. So that means that I should have put it in the white category, but that's okay for now. So you can see my color codes here. So my new agents are red. I've got open house visitors, past clients, proven cappers, agents that have left KW. So I've got a whole slew of different tags that I can use to identify groups within my database. Campaigns are the primary one. Campaigns are the ones that we use the most. Smart plans are the ones that we use secondary. Tags are so important to organizing and being able to target and market your campaign, your database. Now that we understand that, let's talk about how we can apply tags in a different way. Within contacts themselves, here's my contacts sheet. I can use tags to group people together that are not necessarily for marketing and they're not necessarily for smart plans, but they're good for me to be able to see things that I need to see in my database on any given day. Here's an example. If I hit the filter button up here on the contact page and I say, show me all of the contacts that have Gmail as their email address. Okay. For me, that's a valuable need. I need to see, and because my database is filled with agents, 900 and some odd of you. If I look in my database and I see that you have a Gmail address, I'm going to probably send you out, if you're watching this, you may have already received one of these, an email saying, listen, I've got you in my database with a Gmail address. I'd love to get your KW email so that my database is updated for all of the classes that we teach. So I'm going to say, show me all the people that have not updated their email to Gmail, from Gmail to KW. So I'll hit apply. And right away, I've got a filter that's going to show me all of the people. And right now I have 71 people in my database that I currently do not have a KW email for, but I have a Gmail address for. And guess what? Here in the primary email, all of those are the @gmail.coms, and it ties into the tag. And the way that I did that, quite simply, let me remove this filter to show you how I created the tag filter so that I could find all those people. When I go into my contacts area, instead of looking at all these, you see all these emails are different down through here. One of the cool things about searching in your database is you can search for anything. So on this front screen, the primary email is visible. So if I go in my search dialog box and I put in an @Gmail, then I can put in all of the contacts that have an @Gmail. And by the way, look at this. There are 105, but only 71 of them are tagged. Think about that for a second. The search parameter just found that there are 105 people in my database that have the @gmail.com in their email. But when I showed you the tags before, there was only 71 of them. So that means there are more people that have the Gmail than have the Gmail tag. So what's cool about this now is I can say, well, there's 105 of those people. I want to make sure that all of those people have the tag Gmail. So I'm going to select over here on the left-hand side. And now see what I'm doing here. I'm utilizing the tag, the search feature, and I'm going to add, by using a bulk action, the tag to those remaining people, the Gmail tag, and make sure that I have put all of those tags into all of those people. So when I do that, let's see if because sometimes it may take a couple seconds. Let me go back over to the filter here and I'll select the @Gmail. Let's see if all 105 show up in here. 107. It looks like there's a couple more. So now 107 of those people are now marked with the correct tag. Now guess what? Here's something that you didn't know happened. When I added that Gmail tag to those extra people, those 30, 40 some odd people, there was a smart plan that automatically triggered because that new tag was added to that contact. Stay with me here. In my smart plans, I created a while ago a smart plan that had Gmail as part of what it was. Maybe it was email. Okay. In here, I have a smart plan called Ask for KW Email. And all of the people that have Gmail, Google, MSN Mail, Yahoo, all that have been added to this plan. And what it looks like is this. Look for the people that have those Gmail plans or tags, and send them out this little email that's saying, hey, I noticed you have this email in your database. I'd love to get your KW email. But it only works when new agents are added with this. Let me go back and do that email. I'll show you one more time. Let's see if it's this one. Oh, that one's empty. Okay, so it is the first one. All right, just want to make sure. There we go. So my agents are going to know, because my agents are going to receive an email because this is set up so that it looks for that tag and says, hey, when you see this tag come through, send an email to these people. So by tagging them, they automatically are added to a smart plan. Very, very cool tools. All right. Let's go back to the contacts here, and let's kind of expand that a little bit. Just on the front page alone, I knew that I could search for tags and filter my list accordingly. When I do that, I can filter this list so it's a smaller set of values based on those tags. But if I'm not managing those tags, and in the case of the Gmail, you saw that where I had not tagged all of the contacts, so what I ended up with was the filter that I created really wasn't showing me all of the things. But you can constantly update your tags and manage your tags doing what I just did. Searching for, in this case, Gmail in the search box, comparing it to how many people have it as a tag using a tag in the filters. And then saying, okay, there's a discrepancy, so let me update those values. Let me show you another use for tags here. In the filters area, one of the things that I can do is I can search for leadership. Let's see, so market center leadership. And what this means is any of my contacts that have the tag market center leadership, when I hit apply, my list is going to be reduced to those people showing market center leadership. And if you look at this, what you're seeing is a directory. So by using a tag and putting all of the people at the market center in my database with a tag called market center leadership, I can create a directory of people at this market center. Just think about that. Yeah, how could you use that? Creating a directory of people at a particular company, creating a directory of all of the vendors that you work with, all of the inspection people, all of the photographers, all of the septic anything, appraisers, closing title companies, all these different things. By using your database, not only for your prospective clients, but your entire business, you can manage your business from one place by using tags, because now I have a mini database within my database for this directory. I'll let that one sink in for a minute, because that's actually a pretty cool thought. If you really think about it, that's pretty neat. So there was my little filter for market center leadership. I can do it that way. And one of the other things that you can do here is, I showed you that we're using the filter and we're using the search to get to that list of people. What if I'm looking at this list and I'm like, you know what? I'd love to know all of the particular contacts that I have that have the tag of New Hampshire. Well, all of these tags here in this middle section can be filtered immediately just by clicking on any of the visible tags. Let's say Dover. Let's say I want to see all of my contacts who have the tag Dover. So I'll click on the tag Dover, and the answer is 3. There are 3 contacts in my database that have been tagged with the tag Dover. It automatically created a filter for me, and you can see the filter is on, and it added Dover into my filter here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clear that filter and apply and remove it so that I don't see it. And now all of my contacts are back. Well, how many people do I have in New Hampshire? Click on New Hampshire. It immediately creates a filter for the tag New Hampshire, and there are 500 out of 523 visible. So I have 523 people in New Hampshire. Being able to quickly filter just by clicking on the tag here, again, helps you rapidly determine how many people you have of a certain tag. So if I was going to do a marketing campaign for Dover, 3 people may not be a lot. It would be a campaign, but 523 people for New Hampshire would be awesome. And if I was targeting specific properties in New Hampshire or specific events or specific open houses or whatever I was doing, I could target them by this. So now take that one step further. What if I created a tag for the cities that I serve? I serve Portsmouth, Dover, Durham, maybe Wells, maybe North Conway, whatever. The service areas that I serve, that I work in, if I put the my contacts in here, if I put in the contacts a tag that says this person is interested in one of those service areas, Dover, Durham, Wells, by using those tags, I can instantly create a filter if I have an open house coming up and say, show me all the people who are in Durham because I've got an open house in Durham, or the people that want to move to Durham. By doing this with tags, I can create the email list instantly based on Durham. I can also create a quick list of maybe people to call and say, hey, I need to let you know I've got a house coming up in Durham, and I see that I have you down as interested in Durham. How valuable is it to you to be able to know as much as possible about every person in your database so that when it comes time to be able to reach out to them, you are purposefully reaching out based on what you know. You have the right information to help you get the right conversations going. Love it. Now let's take it one step further. I'm going to turn off this filter here for the New Hampshire, and we're going to look at our 523. Now it's going to be 971. Now I can go down through here and I can click on any one of these to create a particular view. Let me show you something kind of cool here. I've got a little thing called Marvel as a tag. These are some demonstration names. So if I click on Marvel, there are 52 people in my database that have been tagged with the tag Marvel. And they are mostly the characters from the Marvel films. So if that's the case, maybe I want to come back to this view later on. Because remember, when you set any kind of view here, unless you save the view, when I navigate away, I'll go back to the home screen here, and maybe I'll go from the home screen over to the contacts again. Go right back to contacts. That filter that I had created, or that view that showed me all of the Marvel characters, it's gone. It goes back to my default view. But if I wanted to do that again, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of clicking all these clicks to make sure I can see Marvel or Durham or Derry or something like that. So if I set it up one time, I'll click Marvel again here, and there's my 52. Then I can come over here to the Smart View drop down and say create a smart view. And I can create a view, and we'll call this Marvel. And I can also choose to set Marvel as my default view when I enter this page. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say save it as Marvel, but not make this my default page. So now I have 52 people, and true, if I leave this page now because I did not set it as default, when I leave the page and come back to my view, I will now see the default view of 971 contacts. But in my drop-down, I've got an instant access to one of my previous views because I used tags to sort them out. So organizing your database using tags for the purposes of marketing, for smart plans, and for maybe your day-to-day work. Maybe, I'll give you another idea here, a little tip for you. I'll go ahead and get this filter out here. I'll clean off Marvel and I'll apply it back to being just clean here. So tags are one way so that we can create these views. But in addition to tags, maybe I'm looking to work with my leads only, my unmets. You can do that by instantly using filters in your view to say, show me all of my leads or my unmets. Here they are. These are the people I need to call today. I only have one because I've met so many. But here is my unmets, and I can do again. I can create a view for this, a new view that is all of my leads, and I can save that as a default view, or I can put that in my views. So using the filters, and in the case of my first example, using tags as the filtering source, and yes, you can use multiple. You can use multiple tags so that you can group together using basically the AND feature. So Gmail, actually it's an OR feature, Gmail or Hotmail. Let's say put those two in here. So let's say what we've got 110. So there's not many Hotmails, but there's a bunch of, which by the way, if you're still using Hotmail, please get a Gmail account just because Hotmail, I'm sorry, completely random. All right. Anyways, so I can use these filters with the tags to put together an and. So give me these people and these people and these people using tags. These ideas for using tags to organize your database it's endless, really. If you want to think about it, I'll go back here and reset my page. Boom, 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 bing. There we go. It's an endless, infinite choices. You can do different things based on what you're doing in that day using tags and views. So organizing your database, do that. Get down to it. Now, how do you organize this database? Maybe you started like me in the beginning. You started creating a bunch of tags that don't really make much sense anymore. Well, that's not a problem. Let's say you've got some tags in here that you're looking at going, whoa, I really wish that I could change this all up and kind of revisit this whole thing. No problem. What we can do here is understand that the tags are editable, and there's a new feature where we can add bulk tags, and now we can remove bulk tags. So if I have a set of tags here, I'm going to go ahead and jump down through here for a second and say maybe I'm going to. I've done a lot of cleanup recently on mine, so my tag structure is actually looking pretty good. So let me throw a garbage one in here for you. So I'm going to say that Aaron McClure here. I'm going to go ahead and click on Aaron, and I can see that the tags associated with Aaron are Dover, and he's been added to the all agent email list. So if I click edit now, in the tag section, I can add new bad tag. So this is one of those things where I've created a new tag. It's an individual tag. There's no real value to it. It's something for just this one individual. Great. So there's that new bad tag. I'll go back to my contact page here, Aaron. And if I move this out a little bit, you'll see this tag. Now, this is only one tag, but if I had applied this tag to multiple people, let's do that. Select the first, let's do 20 people, 25 people. I'm going to select 25 people, and I'm going to bulk add tags. And that tag is going to be new bad tag. So I could put it here, submit. So all those 25 people, it'll take a second to go through the database, maybe a couple of refreshes later. All those people are now going to have new bad tag. And by the way, it does take some time to refresh when you're doing a lot of bulk editing, so just give it a second. So here is the new bad tag. Now remember, I can take this and filter it. So I'm looking at just the 25 that I tagged, new bad tag. I can remove that filter, turn off the filter here. And I can see all of my contacts, but in this case, the first 25 were those with the bad tag. I can edit the name of the tag. I can't do it here. But if I go to my settings area in my profile icon, and I click on the profile icon and I come down over here on the left-hand side when it loads up, Take your time. There we go. Command settings, contacts, contact tags. This is the master list of all of my tags, of which I have 60 in here now. So if I come in here and I type in just the word bad, because I know that's part of the tag, I can modify this. Maybe I want to change the tag's wording. So I can change from new bad tag to old bad tag. And I can change the color. So maybe I want to make it purple. So I can do that. I can clean this up here. And now that new tag is got some new words and it's got a new color. But you'll notice something that I can't do. I can't delete this tag. I can't do it because there are contacts in the database that have this tag applied. So it's a database rule. If the tag in this case is in use, you can't delete the tag because it's in use. So it's kind of a circle. So I'll say no to that. Go back to my contacts area. And by the way, I changed the tag to purple, and I also changed the label to read old tag. Okay, so now it's updated. Now I can filter for this entire list, and there's 25 people. Remember, I created an instant filter for old bad tag, and the filter is now on. There's the tag. I can select all of those 25 people, and I can prove that by showing there's 25 selected. And they just recently added this tool where you can click on select bulk action and remove tags. And the tag that I want to remove is old bad tag. So I can clean up my database and say, let's get rid of that garbage tag. Remove those. It's going to take those out. We'll do another refresh here. It may take a second or two for it to go through all 25 and remove the tags. Boom, gone. Now I can go back over to my settings area, and if necessary, in command, contacts, tags, and I'll find that bad tag and say delete. And now it's going to be like, all right, there's nobody using it. Let me get rid of it for you. Piece of cake. Come back to my contacts. The tag's gone, so the tag's out of the database. I removed it from all the contacts that are in there. Toast. Questions? By the way, I am watching on, let's see, ooh, I forgot to put up the YouTube chat. Oh, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, I may have missed some questions from you, so let me get logged into that. Ooh, I can see it on Facebook, but I didn't put in the YouTube one. By the way, we're on YouTube as well as Facebook. So log in here. Anybody? Anyone? Doesn't look like we have anything over on the YouTube channel. Okay. If you do have any questions, you can obviously put the questions in the Facebook chat, or you can use the YouTube chat, which is now running properly, and you can put those in there, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. So let's recap this. I'm going to show you again the tag structure that I created it and used as an example in an Excel spreadsheet. So here is an Excel spreadsheet demonstrating the categories across the top, which are color-coded. So the system tags are white, the red is the temperature, the source tags are gold there. Do not look at this and say, okay, well, Robert told me to create these tags in this very structure. This is a map, but this is not the map for your business, because these are just example tags. All of these red tags representing temperature, you can change that around. But if you create a simple spreadsheet that shows you your categories across the top, the colors that are associated with them, and then start building your tag structure here, then you'll know how your database is organized because you're the one doing it. Doing it with random willy-nilly tags is just a bad way all around. It just makes things cluttered. There's a lot of redundancy in bad tags, so make sure you're kind of organizing them to your business needs. Right? If you would like to get a copy of this Excel spreadsheet as a guide, which you can come through here and wipe out all these tags and put in the tags that mean something to you. Remember, you'll still have to create the tags in command. You cannot import this as just a tag list, but you can create it here so that you can know the structure of the tags that you're going to put together in your database. I'd be happy to send you this little spreadsheet. Here, this is what I don't know if I can do a drop in. Let's see what happens here. If I drop this into Facebook, into the chat, will they take a spreadsheet? Let's find out, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and try to drop that in there. It does not. Won't let you do that. Too bad. So what I'll do is, if you want it, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will send you an email copy of that Excel spreadsheet that you can then use to kind of build your own tag structure. Okay, so that's going to wrap this up here. If you have any questions at all and you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at robert.vincent@kwclm. You can always book time on my calendar at timewithrobert.com. The Zoom rooms when we meet for individual meetings is KW Tech TV. The YouTube live streams are at kwtechtube.com. And if you subscribe there, you'll also be notified when we do go live. If you go to Facebook live stream, which is the Facebook groups we're in right now, which is the KWCLM group, all the classes are there. But the archives, which are still on the Facebook group, you can get to them through YouTube as well. So please feel free to reach out one of those methods, and we'll get you squared away. That should do it for now. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Remember, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to be doing the referrals, which is going to be building your business, building your network of referrals. And that's going to be a fun class because I'll show you how the mapping tools work in there. That's it for now. Have an awesome day until 2 o'clock. I'll see you then.